thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We will hopefully finish at 7 this evening. We were so enthused last month, we carried on a little longer, but we'll aim to finish at 7 this evening. There's just a couple of items of housekeeping and other things that I want to just mention. I'm Janine Birtwistle, for those that don't know me. I'm not sure if there are any of those on the meeting. But I'm the Peace Building and Conflict Prevention Specialist on the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland Humanitarian Service team. And I organise sessions like this on various things regarding peace. Some are with speakers, some are just discussions. And I'm really pleased that we've got this one, again, focusing on Ukraine, which is obviously so uppermost in a lot of people's minds. The session is being recorded, so if you don't want your image to be shared, please turn your video off. If you could stay muted whilst you're not talking, that would be terrific. If you are at home alone, please, in the chat, could you just send me your contact details of somebody that you'd like to be contacted in an emergency and your address? That would be great. Please keep your mobiles on silent, she says, and frantically looking for her own mobile phone to put that on silent. And we will use the raised hand function as we have opportunity. Mutual respect today, please. We're mainly here to listen to what the Ukrainians have got to say, to ask any questions. It's not a soapbox for the rest of us. It really is trying to capture what's happening and how we can help, and to discuss the best ways of providing that help. So we're very much here to listen. I'd also like to just remind you all, from my perspective, as it says in my background, we are all peace builders. Everything that we do in our Rotary service is around providing that optimum environment for human potential to flourish. And we know that we need peace to be able to allow that to flourish. And we're seeing the impact of not having it now in Ukraine. Even so, there is so much good that is already being done. So that is amazing. We had a We Are All Peace Builders seminar last weekend. It was absolutely brilliant. The recording of that will be available shortly. Highly recommend that you look at that. But today is about Ukraine. Just a quick reminder for those that are not familiar, within Great Britain and Ireland, we have got a Ukraine Crisis Task Force, which is chaired by past District Governor Alan Smith from Jersey. And these are the members of the task force at the moment. I apologise, I haven't updated it. Poor old Anthony is suffering a little bit at the moment from COVID and the effects of COVID. So we've got Brian Portway that's standing in for him at the moment. We also have in Great Britain and Ireland the resilience team, which is very much about helping the guests whilst they're in our countries. And Cheryl Berry, Brenda Parsons and Peter Dowse are your key people in relation to that. But we did record the last session. I will send you links to it. It's on the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland YouTube channel, and that's the particular link for it. That's for the whole recording of the session. We did also do an edit out of it of the section that Artem spoke to us about water in particular, which is really, really moving. And I know Artem is going to be here giving us an update on that tonight. And also we did a 10-minute extract of what Artem also did particularly, and that was because, you know, he's in Mykolaiv. The Rotarians there, as they are across the whole of Ukraine, are doing so much, but that's really right on the doorstep of the Russian situation. So that's why it's so important. So what I'd like to do now is to stop sharing, and I would like to introduce Sergei, who is part of the task force in the Ukraine, the crisis team in the Ukraine. There are other members of the team, and there are a number of other Rotarians from in Ukraine here with us today. And Sergei, I think if we can try and keep it in sections on specific topics, that would be really helpful, so that we can capture the different things that's happening and how we might be able to help.
Thank you very much, Janine. Good evening to everybody. And I would like to greet all participants of this very interesting event. I participate second time and enjoy the great company of Rotarians from Great Britain and Ireland and Ukraine. And I would like to greet all new and old friends. My special greetings to Helen Antonio. I remember the project we were doing together here in Ukraine. And now we continue with the much more people involved from all different 6 clubs of Great Britain and Ireland. Thank you. I hope I have invited several other speakers from Ukraine to present certain specific locations, cities which are suffering a lot now. I will hope they will be able to join because situation is not very good in some locations, and I'm not always sure that they will be having good connection or electricity at all to be able to participate in such meeting like ours. Let's start, and I hope our district governor have joined, but I don't see Volodymyr Bondarenko.
No, I don't see him at the moment.
I know that he has his own club meeting tonight, and he promised to try to connect, but not maybe easy for him. In any case, we both initiated together with our friend who became a friend project which is related to rebuilding, to recovery of the place which suffered from aggression. And I would like to start with a very short 2-minute video to demonstrate to you some idea of this project. This video was recently produced. Charity fund.
Ну, ніхто не мог подумати, що це на натурі війна. А потім уже як стали там сильно бахкати, він каже: мам, це війна. Ой, ми, ну що робити? Нічого не стало, що робити. Тяжко було, звісно.
Ми жили безпечно, і 24 лютого ми навіть не думали, що оця трагедія буде з нами поруч, що ми будемо поруч з цим вогнем і болем. Ми ще сподівалися, що буде в тому стані і в нас є шанс відбудувати. На жаль, коли ми повернулись, ми побачили повністю руїни і залишки російських подарунків. На жаль, ми знайшли попіл. Да? Шкода.
Я Виталий Кащенко, учредитель фонда UI Dream, целью которого является восстановить Мощун и дать людям новое качество жизни. Я живу возле села Мощун, которое разрушено российскими захватчиками более чем на 85%. И когда я узнал это, и когда я понял, какой ужас испытали люди, что им негде жить, они потеряли все, что они создавали в своей жизни, я понимал, что я могу им дать то, что они потеряли. Поэтому я решил создать этот фонд. Я решил поднять деньги и сначала дать временное жилье, спасти людей от холода, который наступит совсем скоро, а потом отстроить это село и сделать его, как раньше говорилось, городом-садом. Не отстроить старую хатку, а сделать новое жилье, новый дом, современный, привлечь сюда западных архитекторов, дать новое дыхание этому населенному пункту и дать надежду на новую жизнь. Отстроим Мощун, отстроим Украину, выстроим новые отношения в мире. Это наша цель.
This is a video produced by the charity fund with which we have partnered in this project. Now I will show some slides to continue. Do you see slides?
Also, he is putting the slides together. I just want to put into your minds that for the cost of £10,000, what you're going to see can actually solve the problem for a family. And there is an issue at the moment that through July, there won't be a funding route through Rotary. So if we can help, that's one practical thing that you could take away from today for your clubs and districts.
So I will try to be quick just to allow my friends for other topics to go. But I would like to tell you that this is on the right bottom corner, you can see a little map where you can see Kyiv city. And just next to it, you had these names in the news right now: Irpin, Bucha, Hostomel, and Moshun is just around on the other bank of the river. Irpin, just another side. It's over there, and it is one of the places. There are many of them right now, unfortunately, but this one is very special because it was the place where the fight between Russian and Ukrainian army were one of the strongest at the beginning of this war. And this is the place where they stopped. Ukrainian army stopped Russians, and they were not able to get into Kiev. And then after some fightings, it was a possibility to throw them out from Kiev, out of Ukraine, this particular part. And they have moved their forces to the east of Ukraine. So the project mission is to rebuild this very heavily destroyed village. And it was an evaluation done by the special report, which you can visit. The link is below, but I can send this presentation to anybody interested. And there are about 600 houses, but if to count all the buildings in the village, which consist of many different secondary, let's say, buildings, and there are about 2,800 of them. 2,000 are destroyed or partially destroyed. That means that more than 70%, sometimes they say 80% of these buildings are destroyed in this particular village. It's one of the most destroyed villages, and that's why we decided to focus on this village and to help to people to survive there and to rebuild it. We have two stages, two steps in this project. One is to give people a temporary shelter prior to cold season, to allow them to go through the cold period of time when they don't have their homes anymore, to go through the winter in a place which can give them this shelter. Because Shelter Box is a great program, but unfortunately the cold season in Ukraine doesn't allow to use tents. It needs much more insulated and more stable and concrete, more strong houses to survive. And second step will be for reconstruction or rebuilding of this destroyed Moshun to rebuild this village fully. First step is a modular house. You can see it in detail. We were trying to use a local manufacturer as much as possible. We were selecting several opportunities outside and inside, and taking into account the current situation, we have selected the manufacturer, which is located in Kiev region, not far away their site. It's about 100 kilometers, maybe 70 miles from this village. So it's not far to transport this house. And second step, we already started to talk to some famous architects, and we would like not just to rebuild what was there. We try to do it really a modern village. Maybe in the future it will be a little town, which is next to Kiev. And taking into account all efforts we would like to put from Rotary side, maybe we are dreaming that it will be called Rotary Village in the future, or Rotary Town. I would not stop here for different sources of financing this project. It's not only Rotarian money we are looking for. We are thinking together to organize events like concerts, some NFT special sales, and so on. Partners today are two Rotary clubs. One of it, which is Ivano-Frankivsk, it's a club of our district governor currently, Volodymyr Bondarenko, and my own club, Kiev City, is another partner of this project now. We already signed a memorandum of understanding between our district and this charity fund to be able to control whatever happens there. They have an international audit company in the team, and they have another legal firm to make all necessary preparations and agreements, because houses will be provided temporary to people until they will rebuild together with all funds available from different sources. Rotary in this project. We have already two Rotary clubs. Other clubs in Rotary clubs in our district, many of them support this project. We talked already with many different countries, with many district governors. We got a lot of support. Unfortunately, as Janine mentioned, it is a possibility to apply for this grant from TRF Disaster Response Fund, but for some reason to audit and to change from one year to another, they are closed in operations till July 12th. And this is making month of July not as we were planning before, that we will get some funds from this grant, and we will be able to continue the flow of putting these temporary modular houses. But we hope some other direct donations and some other resources could help us to do whatever we can in the near weeks and July. This Friday, the second building will be already installed. I will show you further. This is the team of leaders of this project, and we have a very good ambassador of the project, our famous Ukrainian singer. She won Eurovision in 2004, and she agreed to be there. She already made a clip, and it was already put on the TV channel with the story about this project and this village. We have a business person, Vitaly. You saw him in this video. He is living next to this village. Fortunately, his house is okay. It was not damaged. But every day he is going through, he sees all this tragedy, and he took this as his own mission to help these people to survive and to rebuild this village. And our district governor is another leader of this project. Here are some contact details. I will send these slides, and it will be shared to all participants, and some bank details for donations, specifically from the UK in British pounds. The first step started already to be realized. In the center, you can see the remains of the house of Lady Luba. She lost her son on the first days of this war in February. Her son was there, and bomb arrived, and she lost him. And the local authorities decided that we start with the putting a house for her. We organized some Rotary action to prepare the place, and then it was delivered and installed, this temporary modular house in her land, in her place. Media already picked up this news. You see, these are already screenshots from some video reports which were circulated in Ukrainian video media, and we got attention also from some international sources. I will probably end with this, my story. I can show photos and videos, many of them, but I think you already got the message, what we are trying to achieve and what we are trying to do. And at the moment, what we need are some funds to continue a flow of these installations, because we are planning to install about 300 of such houses, definitely not only from Rotary resources, we are collecting from other sources also, but we would be happy to get any help, any support in this particular project to allow to wait until we will get more money from the Disaster Response Fund, which will be available probably end of July, in August. We need to finish our installations before October, because in October it's already a cold season and it will become cold. So we have only 3 months to help these people. 60% of the population of this village are somewhere around, trying to do something in their land, trying to think what they can do, how to survive, and we are to help them. Thank you for listening. If it will be any question, I will be prepared to answer, but I would like to give a floor to a possibility to talk to my colleagues, and maybe I saw among those who present here, some of them already heard his story. Artem Vasilenko from city of Mykolaiv. Artem, maybe you can continue with some story about situation in Mykolaiv.
Thank you very much, Sergei, and absolutely we'll move to Artem. I just want to say to you all, with the bombings that have happened in the last few days in Kyiv, I actually sent an email to Sergei, because I know that he's moved back to Kyiv a couple of weeks ago, to just ask if him and his family were okay. Yeah, they are. However, there's another Rotarian who fortunately wasn't back in Kiev yet. His home is destroyed too. You know, this can happen to anybody. It's indiscriminate, and we can really be making a difference. So this will be one of 3 appeals that we do through the Rotary GB&I task force over the next few weeks. But absolutely, if you think that you want to get involved with this particular project, Sohi, I'm happy to move to Artem. I'm just conscious that Olga has got her hand up.
Yeah, let's give Olga maybe before Artem if she wants to.
Yes, maybe several words, because they destroyed not only Kiev civilian buildings, but Cherkasy as well. 2 days ago, they bombed our dam and bridge. It's the big strategic object between two banks of Dnieper River, left and right banks of Ukraine. And they continue to do this. Yesterday, they destroyed big building where many people with children, old people and women had rest time during daytime, and it was really a big tragedy in Kremenchuk. And they continue to kill our people, our civilians. That's why it's a really very terrible situation, and we ask everybody to help us and to find funds for such for restoring such villages and small towns in the occupied territory and in other parts of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Artem?
Okay.
Tak, будь ласка.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure, and please receive the warm, open heart greeting from the Rotary Club from Mykolaiv, the southern front now. By the way, our president, Andrei Cherepanov, is also present here. Hello, Andrei. So I would like to share with you the information what currently is going on with Mykolaiv, and also give you the example of one of the Rotary designed and managed project we are doing in Mykolaiv. So we still receiving the Russian missile attacks now every day. The last 2 days ago it was 12 missiles during a day, and they're trying to destroy our port infrastructure, because Mykolaiv is basically the maritime maritime region in Ukraine, and five ports are located in the city. So they're trying to reach the grain terminals, and they succeed. The last time they reached the sunflower oil terminal, and it was burning all over the day. So we are understanding that this is Russians are doing in order to destroy the Ukrainian trade, the sea trade, not, don't give us the opportunity to rebuild the trade and supply the world with our traditional goods, such as grain, sunflower seeds, sunflower oil. So basically they are playing on the game of the global the global food problem. But our club is continued its service, and for Mykolaiv their story is that since the 12th of April, Mykolaiv was cut from the central water supply. The central water supply for Mykolaiv, it goes from the Dnieper River. So this major supply pipeline, it goes now through the territory occupied by Russians. And in the mid-April, they destroyed this pipeline, and Mykolaiv, a 500,000 population city, was without any water, no technical water, no drinking water, and more than around 2 months, there were no water at all. Since last month, thanks to the city management, we now have the technical water in the pipelines, but this is the salted water coming from the local estuary, as Mykolaiv is a peninsula surrounded by 2 rivers and then forming the estuary with the Black Sea. So we now in the water supply system, we have the salted water. It's not good to drink. It's impossible to use it for any other purpose except the technical. So the problem of supply the families with the drinking water is is still, since the beginning of April, is still very important for our communities. And as the Rotary Club, and also together with the humanitarian hub, we are, from the beginning of this story, we are trying to put as much efforts as is possible to supply the Mykolaiv community with drinking water. From the very beginning, together with our partners in People in Need international organizations, we managed to buy more than 40,000 cans, and we brought them empty cans, and we brought them to Mykolaiv. And together with the private businesses who own the private springs and wells outside the city, we were filling these cans with the drinking water and bringing this water to the people in Mykolaiv and just giving it to the people who need it. More than 350 tons of water we delivered with such program. And since last week, we started the new initiative focusing on the families with the small babies. Because, for example, you can imagine when the family where is the child from 0 to 7 years old, we decide to focus on this type of families. Normally the father of such family will be either in the front or trying to work to find the work. So, and for the mother, it's basically impossible to leave the child alone at home to go to get the drinking water, because there are some opportunities, for example, to get this water from the municipal sources, also delivering from their volunteers, but you have to go, stay in line, and spend 1 hour or even more to get the access to the drinking water. So together with our friends in the Rotary Club Lviv and Rotary Club Kiev, we designed the project which we called the Drinking Water Front. So we managed to buy 920-liter empty bottles. We brought them to Mykolaiv, and together with the local company whose business is the water supply, they ask us to pay only basic costs, not the commercial price, to fill these bottles with the water. So we will be able to fill them 5 times. It means 100 liters of pure drinking water for the family, for each family, for 900 families. And together with them, we arrange the address delivery just to the front door of these families with their small kids. I will try to share with you the video. I believe I will be able to run it.
Звуку немає, Артем. Треба там поставити галочку перед тим, як ділитися.
Talk us through it, Artem.
Okay.
I will include the link so that people can play it. I think.
If you don't mind, after I will just comment because it's in Ukrainian. I will comment on what you can see.
Thank you. Yes, please.
We hear you well. You can start commenting now.
Yeah. So you can see the local company where we brought the bottles. You can see the trucks, and you see this sign there, the drinking water front with the Rotary logo, and this is the QR code to register for to receive this water. This everything done online. We do have the online registration. Nobody needs to go somewhere. They can register online. They can upload the kids' document, and then they will receive the water directly to their houses. And for them, it will be free of charge. This is one of the examples of the projects our Rotary Club is implementing in Mykolaiv, just to give you the feeling of the activities we are running. And besides the water, the second challenge for us and for our community is the food supply. Businesses are stopped. Most of the companies cannot work, and even in the supermarkets, there is the goods available, but people have no money either to buy the water or to buy food. So the second issue for us now is to find the resources to supply our community with food, and we are focusing on this.
So is it the money that you need to buy the food? Is the food available, or do you need food?
It could be both. We are talking about basically the canned food. The food can be stored for the certain period of time. It could be two ways. It could be money to buy it locally, or it could be delivered to the border of Ukraine, for example, in Romania, and then we will pick it up and bring directly to Mykolaiv. Both ways is great. Thank you.
Thank you, Artem. Can I just interrupt there, Sergey? Because one of the things we do need to highlight is that it's important that people don't just send something expecting it to be used. There's so many instances where things that are arriving in Romania or wherever for Ukraine with the best of intentions actually becomes a problem. You know, fuel is a shortage in Ukraine. Don't just assume that you've heard tonight they need food, I'm going to arrange this truck of food to go. There needs to be coordination, and we recognise that in the Great Britain and Ireland Task Force, and we have got a new member of the team going to be joining us shortly in relation to the logistics side of it. But in the meantime, please reach out to the chair of the task force, Alan Smith, and indeed to Sergey. We will liaise so that we're not just getting stuff that is of no help whatsoever. Sorry, Sergey, over to you again.
Thank you, Janine. A very valid and very important comment. Thank you. It was some changes among speakers, and I would like now to introduce and to give an opportunity to talk to Irina Ivanova. She is from Kharkiv, city of Kharkiv. You have heard many times probably, and Irina is authorized to tell story about what Rotarians of Kharkiv are doing to support their community in this very, very hard situation in Kharkiv. Irina, maybe at the beginning you will tell your own story, where you are and how are you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Ira. It's my husband, Gennady. He is president of our Rotary Club Kharkiv New Level. Now we are in Ireland with our family. We have long 3 weeks trip around Europe because it was very hard to reach border. Problem with petrol, with traffic jam. It was hard. Our kids were sick because 2 weeks we spent in bomb shelter and they had cough. Now we are safe and we help with our club, our city. Today I want to tell you about our main project. It's a humanitarian hub. We opened it. Our first club we made in the first or second day. It was a small garage of our elect president. In 1 week, we teamed up with 2 other Rotary clubs and created a humanitarian hub. We got 1-2 trucks of chicken meat every day. About 500 tons of chicken passed through our hub in the first 2 months. It cost more 750,000 euros. Now our hub is huge. Today I prepared presentation for you, but after that I asked our elect president, who managed our humanitarian hub in Kharkiv. Now I said our hub is very huge. We get food and foreign food packages for families. We got canned meat, pasta, sugar, tea, flour, soap, clothes, even pineapples and chocolate from Switzerland. We have already got more than 1,000 tons of humanitarian help. We get 1-2 trucks every week. About 500 volunteer organizations and groups in Kharkiv work with us, and we help 35,000 people every month. We spread 1,500 food packages every day to all districts of Kharkiv and Kharkiv region. 32 organizations help us fill our humanitarian hub with food, medicine, care products. We got financial support comes from our district, Rotarian clubs, civilians, charity organization. 50 volunteers work in our hub every day. All our members are involved, and we are looking for help, write letters, manage delivery, take photos, video, make reports. In total, we got humanitarian helps more than 2 million euros for this almost 4 months. Now, half of our club in Kharkiv, half is in Europe, West Ukraine. It's now very hard to manage it, but at first we have 3 months Zoom meeting every day. Now it's 3 times in week. I want to say that we get support from disaster fund, from other Rotarian clubs, charity organization from around the world, and I'm sure it brings us closer to victory. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Irina.
And I also see in the list of participants Pavlo Filipenko, who made this video. Thank you, Pavlo. And I see Boris Bodnar have raised his hand. You have a comment, Boris. Please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Allow me just to do something slightly different. I don't have a presentation or a video. One of the things that we are as Rotarians is resourceful. You all see what's happening here in the country. You hear from my colleagues and from your colleagues in the GB task force who we're working with very closely about the needs that we have here. I'd like to reach out to you from a slightly different perspective. Many of you have interests of your own. Many of you focus on particular aspects of life, and there are all those things that could potentially lead you to want to help in a slightly different way. I'll give you some examples. We're looking at particularly some projects where we can help refugee children, for example, where we can connect Rotarians in Great Britain and Ireland with people who I know very well, which are, because I was born in Leicester and brought up in the Ukrainian community in the UK, although I've now been living in Ukraine now for about 3.5 years. I know the Ukrainian community in the UK very well. I know very well that some of them are already connecting with Rotary clubs and districts around the country. It's a great way of building strength and connecting with people who are already doing a lot of things. If you're looking for answers to the question, what can I do to help? there are lots and lots of different ways, starting from yourselves, starting from reaching out to local people, reaching out to the task force, reaching out to the specific groups, whether it's the healthcare professionals, whether it's the WASH groups, whether it's you have specific interests in particular industries that you know might help, whether you have people who are involved in logistics or in the production or distribution of equipment such as generators or other types of equipment. There are so many different ways of helping other than just waiting for somebody to say, look, here's a list of things we need, because we are resourceful people. We are people that have connections, and we can use those connections very usefully, and we can help you from here to do that. So do reach out. We all of the team, and I speak for everybody here, Serhii, Olya, Artem and everybody else from Ukraine. We're here 24/7. We are contactable by any of you. Don't hesitate to reach out. If you need to find details, contact details, telephone numbers, reach out to the teams over in the UK. Janine has phone numbers, contact details. We're always happy to help. We're always happy to have one-to-one conversations and just to help you to understand how you can help us best.
Thanks very much, Boris. I do want to just give the opportunity to Boris, if it's all right. So he mentioned this van that is available, that's coming up from the West Country. If anybody on this call has got items, but it's what sort of items, Boris? So if anybody is interested in putting some things in this van, if you tell us where it's coming from and going to, Boris, and then we could get them to connect to you and me afterwards.
I'll take 30 seconds to tell you an amazing story.
We are running out of time.
Yeah, very quick. About 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I had a call from one of my colleagues in Rotary here saying, look, I bumped into this English bloke who's burst the tire on his trailer. Do you want to have a word with him? Because my English isn't very good. To cut a long story short, this bloke turned out to be somebody from Leicester who went to the same school as me, albeit 2 years ahead, whose younger brother, 2 years younger, was in the same class as me at school. So just an amazing story. And he's the guy, Colin, who has gone back for a wedding. He's coming back to Ukraine to volunteer. He's been helping a lot on the border, and he's bringing back, he's driving back with his very large trailer, which he would like to fill up with essential things for Ukraine. So whoever, if anybody does have anything that they could share to have him bring over, then do reach out, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Boris. Serhii, where do you want to go? We've got another 10 minutes.
Dear Janine, I just see that, I'm not sure, because he was in and then out, he's driving his car. I have invited our Peace Building Committee Chair, Dirk Lustig, to connect, to tell us a little.
He's trying to come back in. I think he's having a problem. He's in and out every 2 minutes, so I think we might not get there.
Maybe we will invite him next time to tell more, because connection is not good. I know that he's already several years focused on a very specific program of demining. This issue appeared starting from the year 2014 in Ukraine, and now it is even more severe in many, many locations. There are many mines, and we need to take care how to make these places safe for people to do anything, even for agricultural works. He is involved in this, and he will tell you, I think, as we invite him personally for another occasion to talk about this particular aspect.
Olga has her hand up again.
Yes, Olga is having a hand up. So
yes, may I introduce you how to work center of Ukraine, Cherkasy region, like an example, not the occupied territory, not so much bombing like in other regions maybe, but the last 3 days shown that our region and our city were bombed as well. But the main goal of our Rotary clubs, in Cherkasy we have 3 Rotary clubs, it's to help evacuated people, children, many families with children, old people are here. In Cherkasy region we have plus 150,000 refugees from another regions, from east and south of our country. And as well in Cherkasy city we have plus 60,000, it's yesterday's statistic of refugees. And we organize for them different psychological events, publish special literature like booklets for evacuated pregnant women, for evacuated children, for evacuated old people, for evacuated people with disabilities, publish special psychological books, and are in touch every day with our psychological specialists from Cherkasy National University, and as well my Rotary Club take care of different families. During last 3 months we bought food for refugees, more than 1,000 people, 250 families. They lived in special places in our technological university, and we bought food and bought special equipment for kitchen for this university and take care of them. As well, we take care of evacuated children because my Rotary Club Cherkasy during last 3 years started to restore children's sailing school in Cherkasy, and many evacuated children now from Mariupol, from Mykolaiv, from Odessa, who like sailing. They are now in Cherkasy, and we help them as well to have some rest, some special school trainings in order to help them psychologically. And it's the project together with our twin clubs from United States of America, because my Rotary Club Cherkasy had several twin clubs. We had a good opportunity in global grants process, and thanks to our American friends, we continue to do such good things in Cherkasy. It's like an example what Central Ukraine do. But as well, Rotary Club Cherkasy is a center of humanitarian medical aid, and we received different cargos, many pallets, because not all pallets could be sent to the special delivery, because many of these medical pallets includes different medical equipment, several pieces. That's why in my Rotary Club Cherkasy opened all these pallets and sent the different parts of these deliveries for maybe 10 or 50 areas inside Ukraine. It's our task every day, thanks to our activities and thanks to our contacts, and thanks to my goal and position like medical coordinator of our district crisis committee.
Thank you, Olha. And I would like maybe to finish from my side at all. We are running out of time. It's very clear. Thank you for attention. I think we are open to answer any question, and we have a task force from both sides to coordinate whatever idea or whatever activity or project will come to your mind. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Soyi. I'm conscious that we have only got 5 minutes left. There's a couple of things I'd like to just say to everyone. One of them is there are so many stories from all of the Rotary clubs across Ukraine. You know, we're hearing about specific areas, but every Rotary club is making a difference. Every Rotary club is truly demonstrating what service above self means. Now, we need to try and make sure that what we are doing to help is actually helping and not hindering. So it's really about that communication, and that's what like a meeting is tonight. I'm conscious we haven't got a lot of time for questions. Can I suggest that if you've got specific questions, you send them in? You've got contact details for me. We can get them to Sergey, we can get them to Boris, we can get them to other parts of the team. But the key thing, I think, Boris, is from a timing perspective, is this trailer. You know, it doesn't take a lot of effort to fill it, but we need to make sure we're filling it with the right things. So I think if we could have something from you that we can send out tomorrow morning to the people that are here, that would be really, really helpful. Is there anybody got one quick question before we end up ending this call? I mean, do we have future meetings like this? Are they helpful? Do you want there to be one specific topic per thing? I mean, it's an ever moving feast. You know, the situation changes in a blink of an eye. They're having to react to it, and we need to be smart on our feet. And I think we're all playing catch up for what we're doing here in Great Britain and Ireland, I think, in comparison. You know, and now we've got the ICC between Great Britain and Ireland and Ukraine. That will help as well, but that's just another one of the mechanisms for that communication. If anybody wants to say anything, or I really do want to thank every one of you for actually participating, because you care, and it takes somebody who cares, but not just cares to come and listen, it's come and listen and take action. So please communicate with your friends around Rotary and beyond. We've got 2 hands up, so just very quickly, please. Sharon first.
Hello. I just wanted to know on the recovery project is it Moshun?
Yes.
It was 12,000. How much for a house? And
$12,500 US per one.
$12,500 US dollars. So if somebody just wanted to send that to buy a house, can you tell us where to send it?
Yeah, I can share all the details. Can we do it via Janine?
Yeah, I'll include the details in the communication I sent out with the recording.
I'll talk to our Rotary Club and see if we can't do that.
Fantastic. Well,
thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. Debbie.
Just to say, yes, I suggest we do have more of these meetings. A lot of stuff goes out on paper, but hearing and then seeing people makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I have to say a huge thank you to all the Rotarians in the Ukraine for everything they're doing. You know, today has been a GB&I day. We had a task force meeting with them at 8 o'clock this morning. We've had the chartering with the ICC at 4 o'clock. We've got this meeting at 6. They are living and breathing this. And people are also operating. She's a surgeon. She's been operating all day as well. You know, they are just amazing human beings. Huge thanks to them. I will carry on then organising these meetings. I think the wider that we can spread the message and the net, we're not going to get everything right. Please help us as a task force to be getting the information out. How do you want the information? And it's about action. I know that what we're going to focus on in the next bulletin, which will be coming out on Friday, is 3 key things. One is about water. One is about medical equipment. And I think particularly we're looking at portable operating tables and lights, and the third is about housing and the project that Sophie has been mentioning. So just a huge thanks to everybody. I can't thank you enough for all that you're doing. And if you've got any ideas about improving on our communications and getting that information out there, please tell us. But don't forget, communication is 2-way. We need you to be helping us as well. I'm going to call it to the close now, and we'll get another meeting organised. Nan, you've just got your hand up. You can have the last word before I press end.
Thank you very much. Just a very quick question for Sohei. The $12,500 for the temporary accommodation, how many does it sleep?
It is for 4 persons, family of 2 adults and 2 children. It is a standard. It has inside some furniture, some appliances, not only just house. It's ready for people to live in.
How many?
4.
Thank you.
2 adults, 2 children.
Sorry, my internet connection was a bit unstable. It went funny.
No problem.
Thank you, Sohei.
And I'll make sure that we include the details about that in the follow-up as well.
Thank you.
You know, one family to have a home. I mean, that video that you showed at the beginning, Sergey, I'm sure everybody's heartstrings were being pulled there. It's reality for people. It's absolutely the reality, as it is for many other things around the world. You know, it's not that this is the only thing we need to be focusing on as Rotarians, and we respect that as well. But I have to say that this is the first time the world has been in this situation since the Second World War, and we need to respond. I will send you information, and I will, if you've said no in the registration, but you do want to continue to be contacted, send me an email, and I'll change it back to a yes, so that you are on our list. But otherwise, keep an eye out for our task force bulletins. But particularly because this is actually a peace team meeting, look out for the emails that you get on the 17th of the month from the Rotary Support Centre with all the team newsletters. In the section for the service team, humanitarian service team, there will always be a piece about peace and another piece about empowering girls. That's where you'll find details about meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. 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 Bye.